or the driver was at lower speed, too relaxed and sleepy and dozy because it's just going so boring, and that he lost his concentrations. Because when you're driving a weapon. You have to be totally on it. You can kill yourself and kill others. Sometimes at a higher speed, you're more in control of your driving. You're more in tune. Myself, I'm like that. If I go too slow, or I just might look around too many places, and I might make an accident. So we do not have really a scientific-based law that defines the speeding tickets, except to make others, I remember I was talking to my brother that I said, you think Muslims drinking in Iran is forbidden or whatnot? In Canada, if you drink and drive, they get your license and they cancel. He said, amazing. I said, yes, it is. Then sometimes, he came to Canada and just keeps saying at the TV, they're advertising to drink. He said, I don't understand. If they're so serious about not drinking, why would they allow it to be advertised? You think those advertisers, they don't know what they're doing? They are selling alcohol and they have to succeed by these things. Therefore, people are going to have accidents. If somebody's so bad on this, why would not they then stop alcohol completely? It just does not go. There's a dichotomy there, So, I'm jumping from one topic to another. Having take a look for a second at my notes that I've made here. So, I'm looking at my notes. I'm trying to explain that the nature of the laws and the reason behind them. It's like the work. If you like your job, you enjoy it, let's say you're painting or drawing, whatever you do, that you really love doing it no matter what, even if you're not working. So it's something you enjoy and you're getting paid. Well, of course you don't get tired. But imagine you don't like your job, but you have to do it because you need the money. You get tired, you get depressed. So our soul. Same all these laws, when they're made based on the nature and the necessity and the need of man, as a single man and in general society, it will not be very tiring because automatically we do those things. We're in tuned by our nature to follow those things. But when they're not, that's what the cause of it is. Imagine if you have a imaginary glass, as it is in the movies. You put on the glass and all of a sudden you could see the laws, actual laws. They would appear like a millions walls that they're surrounding people. In the name of democracy and freedom of election, they've created a system that orders people around and keep creating walls for them. And this man in these laws, these walls, these invisible walls, they're supposed to feel free. How? Okay? But the real laws are not like that. Abdul explains in the book called Some Answered Questions that the laws of God are based on the necessity of mankind. That's how the faith and the religion and the cause of God is legislated, it's been made. It's not a law that is made by somebody. It's a discovery of a fact that there are things that we should not do because it harms us. There are things that are good for us to do it. It's more like a prescription. It's not really a law. It's like somebody's looking up on the helicopter, like on satellite, and he knows where are we heading and what are the things in our way to prevent us from falling into trouble. That's very much different. Baha'i laws are very simple. and easy, very simple. And it does not have a police to police it either. Okay? So, it seems that the laws are made in the Western countries, including our country, to create job for other people. It's not really for the citizens. Many of them anyways. I had somebody stealing some of the stuff in my house, and I complained. A policeman, which I cannot say his name, came to our house. He was a good man. He said, don't complain from these boys and this and that. They are my employers, he says. If this call from you does not come to the police station and this boy doesn't steal your things, I will lose my job. I said, that's crazy. He said, well, that's what it is. We don't get enough calls. There's not enough things to do. Then they decide that we're too many police. We lose our job. I said, so what about me, that I lost my computer and this and that? He says, well, you should have insurance. I said, well, the insurance comes and cover me up, but then they charge me 10 times more later on because my house is this and that. He said, yeah, that's the other part of it, but I said, do you have any intention to go after these guys? He said, no, leave them alone. That's the truth of the matter. So it seems that if the speeding laws is 50 and everyone in the city will obey the rule, they will reduce it to 40. Because certain people have to fail. The system is like a computer. There's a recycle bin and a deleting. They have to delete you. There are too many drivers. Somehow they have to delete you and send you to a recycle bin. They don't want you. They want to send you to go on welfare. Why? Because the police get a job, prosecutors get a job, lawyers, judges, name it, jails, guards, insurance companies. So many people are working, waiting that you make the mistakes. What a source of employment. Okay? I'm criticizing not without ground. I'm just telling you, contemplate on what I'm saying and see if this is the case or not. You want to fix the psychology of the Canadian to make them happier. These are civilized people, for God's sake. They don't need that many rules on the laws and being pestered by the police so much. Ordinary people, so many tickets have been issued. It's crazy. I put my life down to prove if they remove the police from the traffic law, there will be no much of a difference in accidents or anything related, because there was laws and there isn't now anymore. People even don't need to pay insurance. What for? If you get injured, there's already health care. For many reasons we get injured. One of them is also driving. We could also walking the stairs and get injured. We already have that. And damages on the car and whatnot, the money that we pay to the insurance company is 100 times more. It has to be voluntary. If you have lots of money, we don't get insurance. It's okay, if damage comes, when the accident comes, of course, police has to come, or some agencies has to come and see who's at fault, then I have to pay out of my pocket or from my insurance. Just giving you some example. How do we get the freedom out of this system that wants to bugging us so badly? All right, I'm getting to the end of my talk here. I'm going to have to speak about this Canadian system and Canadian laws a lot later on. But let's talk about the control. Those who are controlling these laws. A couple of them. the inspectors of the city, that they control the constructions of the houses, and the police that has to control to see that the citizens, they follow the law. Because I'm a contractor, I brought that example. There is in Ontario such a thing as called OBC, or Ontario Building Code. And I've been a contractor for 27 years. From Guelph to Toronto, there is more than 100 ways of implementing these laws and these codes. I've seen inspectors absolutely with completely different interpretations. It's just building a simple deck. And I have evidences of hundreds of them. One of them passes this way, the other one that way. This guy comes this, that one. If you go to Markham, they ask something that if you want to listen to them, which you have to if you want to build a deck, then the whole other southern Ontario is all criminals then, because they all broke the law. Imagine this. Laws itself are lame, stupid. Too many of it, too much of it. If there's no law in construction, there will be chaos. But there is so much of it. It's just totally irrelevant. Every year they make more and more and more. One thing. Secondly, sending the people that they have their own interpretations of these laws and they're implementing it differently. So I brought this several times to the city to tell them that, So I've learned to ask certain inspector to come only at my job because I know what he wants. Same as the police. Police stops you for speeding. He has to look at you. If he likes you, interpret it completely differently. He could reduce it, he could increase it, he could let go of the ticket. It has happened to me thousands of times. So that is again really another chaos in this chaotic order that we have. We are trying to create order. Absolutely not working, causing a lot of problem in the mind of the Canadians. That is what's important for me, the freedom, I remember that was a program on, it was in news actually, in CBC. That one lady right in Ontario, some criminals, they go and get mortgage on her house without her knowledge. I don't know how they did it. Bank gave them the money. So then she found out that, oh God, I have mortgage on my house. Bank says, hey, why don't you pay your money? I said, excuse me, I did not sign for anything. Anyways, bank comes and says, you signed or you didn't sign, there's mortgage on your house. She says, well, this is, a stealing basically. That's nothing but that. Well, I can't be responsible. The Ontario government, imagine in Canada with so many sophisticated hips and hips and hips of laws, they were telling her that you have to pay. The poor lady had to go to the Supreme Court of Canada. Imagine how long it take her to go there. Many people would just get a heart attack trying to implement this. So she finally goes there and overthrows that. The law. What law? You see? I don't know what kind of a law is this. The worst things about them is that they are written in such a gibberish language that is not useful to any citizen to understand this. I remember some 10 years ago, Ian Kluge was telling me that in Ontario they're going to write the law books so people can understand at least. Use these things, It's just written in a technical language, only the lawyers can understand it. Virtually, there is no right. If somebody takes $500 of your money as a contractor, or $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000, I go do the job, I don't get paid. What do I do? Nothing. If I want to go defend myself, I don't understand them in the law book. And I'm going to go there to get my money, it's going to take me a few years. If I want to get a lawyer wants $3,000, $4,000 retaining. So basically, anything that I lost from $500 to $3,000, I must just forget it. I can't get it. So I have to make my own laws. Say to the people, every day that I work, I have to get money. Because simply I don't know what the outcome might be. Because there is no law again to really protect this poor man who worked for 500 or 600. Simply. I had one customer, excuse me, just a few months ago. She does not pay the HST. What am I supposed to do now? This is the government tax, and I'm not working for the government. I'm a self-employed man. But I have to pay the HST, although she hasn't paid it. Of course, I filed it, I paid it. But how am I going to get my HST from her? Go to court again? How many courts can I carry in my mind, my poor minds? You see what I'm saying? It's like a huge dilemma. This is my basic point. We have created so many laws that are so irrelevant, too many of them, and yet they're inadequate, completely. And we call this democracy. I call it dictatorship of the system. Bad system. Inadequate system. Canadians, they don't deserve to be treated like that. In India, there aren't that many rules that we have like this in these issues. There's no mechanism to get your right. And if corporations, huge corporations, they have completely overwhelmed me. And I have no power, because the amount that I have to put in to get my money back is more than $20,000 to $30,000 to spend money for the lawyer. That means if I have no money, goodbye rights. My right is left, meaning gone. Yes, I have a right, but sorry, my right is left. Why? Because I don't have no money to defend myself. No mechanism again. The government to come down here said, okay, bring your case. We looked at it, all right, so you're a self-employed man. This is what this big corporation has done to you. It's very clear. We're going to support you. We're going to get your money. All right, if you get your money so much, we're going to get the bills, our bill paid. All right, I agree with it. But I can't just go to a court, which is more than a small claim. It's more than $25,000 to go and defend myself. How am I going to be able to deal with the corporate lawyers that they're going to bring, one or two? Of course I lose. You see what I'm saying? The freedom is not achieved under the present law, lawmakers, the law society, law systems, and the controllers of the laws. It's not. Thousands of people are suffering. And I find my spiritual duty about this fantastic people and fantastic land of Canada to talk about it. I don't know how many other people have spoken, probably lots, but I'm the elder of God, so I am going to bring these things up. Very well, it's some of the very little bits. I'm just touching the surface, and I know it, but I'm hoping that those who are looking for some kind of a solution, maybe they go through not even all of this video, at least that portion of it which is Baha'i Faith in Canada. Maybe they get inspired, by these things, and something to be done. We're all at the mercy of this merciless system of the law, from Prime Minister, from Queen of England, and from the poorest man in the world, the streets. We're all being suffering by it. Has to be fixed. Talk to you tomorrow.